Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a bench press day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. So today my shoulders felt pretty fatigued still from the last workout, so I knew maybe my max pressing strength wasn't going to be 100%. I definitely felt just that ache and fatigue still from all that delt work I had been doing. I felt it today with that 315 ramp up, so I decided instead of going for 365, which I had hit the last 2 days for a training max, I went down to 345, so took 20 pounds off, decided to pause it for 3 to 4 seconds. I just wanted a really, really long pause and then to see if I could drive it up. And I did. Long pause, decent speed off the chest, kind of sticking in the middle. Notice that left side trying to dip just a little bit. And then was able to follow through. And it felt slower than it looked on camera. It felt kind of grindy. But I do expect that with a really long pause. But I also, as I'm looking at some of this, I'm realizing, yes, I feel like my delts need to get bigger, but I can only handle so much of the direct delt work. A lot of the supplemental work is working the delts. And if I can just get my triceps stronger, again, it will take some of the stress off the delts. I'm going to keep hammering the triceps hard. I'm going to keep doing some direct delt work. Today I decided to do it just with bands because my shoulders were just so fatigued still from last time. I don't know that I can recover from all the laterals and everything with the amount of pressing and stuff I'm doing. So that's what we did. But the rep work went just fine. I did just as good this time as I did last time, as far as doing 245 for sets of 10 paused. Also because the grip, I'm noticing I want a little better grip training. I was torn between swapping in hammer curls versus just doing normal barbell rows. And so today I decided to do these bent over rows instead of barbell rows off the floor. Why? They train the grip harder. Like, this will give me the extra grip work I need to make sure it carries over to my deadlift. Because not only can I use a little more weight on those because they're not as strict, I never turn loose of the weight. There's no resting, so my grip gets tested all the way through. So it's kind of a choice between that and hammer curls. And I really feel like my biceps, because I don't have the best bicep genetics in the world, really do need, the bicep work right now. I get really strong at hammer curls. You guys have seen I'm way stronger at them than supine grip curls, but it's probably because my forearms and everything are, considerably stronger than the biceps. So I didn't want to cut the bicep work out. I really don't, even though the hammer curls give me better grip. So this was kind of my compromise. And this is why when people talk about what's the best exercise for this, what's the best exercise for that, and I'm like, it depends on exactly what's going on in your training. Every movement that we do affects every other movement that we do. Everything in your training is give and take. So your exercise selection is really dependent upon your overall fatigue, what's being worked, what other exercises you're doing through the week. It matters. It matters. It matters a lot. So in this case, this is what I decided to do for balancing things out. I don't feel like the rows are going to fatigue my low back so much that it's going to affect my deadlift, but I want to make sure I'm getting the grip training in. And simply put, these are one of the better grip movements. Now, I could come in and do some axle bar work if I needed to, and I might do some of that, like some inverted rows or whatever with the axle bar. Right? Might even do some deadlifts with the axle bar, some rowing with the axle bar. Whatever it takes if the grip feels like it's an issue, but a week ago it wasn't. It was only on this last workout it felt a little weak. But was it due to shoulder fatigue? And that's something that we have to keep in mind. Because my grip was sure strong today on these. Stronger than it was last time I did them. So, probably nervous system fatigue, my shoulders, everything else. JM presses. Since I'm doing the slightly wider grip, I decided to up the weight a little bit, and actually the first set felt really easy, and then they started getting more difficult as I went. But, when I was doing this type of JM press at one time, this is also when my close grip had hit a 365. I had gotten very, very strong on those. So I'm going to keep hammering those. I'm going to keep working the JM presses as a primary accessory for my bench press, because again, I need that lockout strength. I need to be able to follow through with the triceps. I'm getting, because of all the tons and tons and tons of pause work, I'm getting faster and faster off the chest. I feel like I'm good there. Everything is paused, even my training maxes. Need to make sure I can follow through with the triceps, and I need my delts to be strong enough. All right, for curls, I decided to up the weight a little bit. I can be a little looser with those curls. I want to get some weight on the biceps. I want to get some tension there. So bumped it up to 95 pounds. Did sets of 8 instead of 10 with the 75. You know, a little bit looser with the form. I'm not trying to be crazy strict. Just trying to curl it. Just trying to feel some tension in my biceps, getting a pump in the biceps. And actually, this actually felt really good. I felt like I got a lot of bicep work here today, even with just this 3 sets. You know, keeping in mind all my volume is not super high right now. Focusing on progressive overload, picking the right movements, focusing on recovery. So overall volumes aren't crazy high. But I do feel like, you know, even looking at my arms, probably still needs more tricep. And even though I'm strong at some tricep movements, I think my triceps themselves are still, you know, just lacking in terms of size. So I think that will continue to improve my bench. Because every time I look at where I stick, sure, it might feel like delts there, but we're also looking at the bar path this last couple times. And it does feel like my triceps could be stronger. It would keep me in a better bar path. Then I might not feel my delts quite as much. Just something to consider. So I'm going to keep hammering triceps, keep working pause bench, because if nothing else fails, that's always a safe way to train your bench. Lots and lots of pause work to get you strong out of the bottom, and make sure your triceps are strong enough to follow through. Even though triceps do affect it out of the bottom, a lot of it has to do with just optimizing the bar path on the way up. That's a lot of where triceps come into play. All right, I decided just to make sure I get some shoulder health work in, and to work my shoulders, I would do some band pull-aparts. Yes, I'm aware there's a couple of ways to do these. You can do them with a fully overhand grip, and I'm doing them with a supine grip, underhand. It just works the shoulder a little different. I'm trying to really open a lot of that up because I do want this to improve for my squatting also. So I decided just to finish the workout. I did those, you know, those 4 main exercises. I'm like, let me just finish everything up with some band work, get a good pump and things like my rear delts, my shoulders, finish off with some tricep work. So I did the band press downs. These also tend to keep my elbows healthy. This is what allowed me to originally get strong at JM presses before. I did tons of volume on these and then worked my JM presses up. And I've managed to maintain really good elbow health. My elbow tendons feel good, but I do feel like I need to work some of these in. It's not a bad idea if I'm going to keep progressing on those JM presses. You know, I'd like to get those JMs to where I can rep over 200 pounds. It'd be nice. A lot of guys out there doing it. All right, where's my bench going to be then? Well, I have the triceps to bench 405 by then. Maybe so. So I want to keep doing both of these. So I just finished up with a couple sets of these 2 exercises. Again, just working my delts a little bit, upper back a little bit, finishing off my triceps, and then working all the connective tissue and getting blood flow into these areas. Because again, I feel like my shoulders are not recovering, and this will help with just the overall blood flow. And the same thing here with the triceps. Finish off the tricep lockout strength, help with the connective tissue, keep those tendons healthy. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.